6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Hassan Gilani. First, the headlines. Prime Minister has vowed to continue working with commitment for country's better future. Finance Minister has termed Saudi delegation's visit as successful. Information Minister says government is introducing reforms in multiple sectors to reduce expenditure. DGI's PR says Pakistan Army is committed to completely dismantle terrorist groups. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 3 more Kashmiri youth today. Russian President Vladimir Putin was sworn in for 5th presidential term in Moscow today. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif says the visit of Saudi delegation, headed by its Deputy Minister for Investment, will augur well for the country's future. During cabinet meeting in Islamabad today, he said the head of the Saudi delegation was appreciative of determination and preparation demonstrated by cabinet members during investment conference. The Prime Minister commended role played by the cabinet members, especially the Commerce, Petroleum and Finance Ministers during Pakistan-Saudi investment conference. He vowed to continue working with the commitment for a better future of the country. Meanwhile, the Federal Cabinet has approved signing of Memorandum of Understanding between Pakistan and Colombia for establishment of a joint trade committee. The Cabinet also approved flight operations by Air Sayal to China, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Turkey, United Kingdom and Kuwait. This approval has been granted under National Aviation Policy 2023 and Air Services Agreement. The Cabinet also endorsed the decisions of the Cabinet Committee on projects related to Chinese investment taken in the previous Cabinet meeting held on 30th of last month. Minister for Finance Mohammad Aurangzeb has termed Saudi delegation's visit to Pakistan as successful. Addressing a news conference along with Law Minister Azam Nazir Tarar and Minister for Information and Broadcasting Ataullah Tarar in Islamabad today, he said confidence of investors is increasing on Pakistan due to its stable situation. He said Saudi delegation evinced confidence in Pakistan's economy. The Finance Minister said the country is heading in right direction. He said foreign exchange reserves have exceeded $9 billion, while inflation has reduced from 38% to 17%, and it is gradually coming down. Mohammad Aurangzeb said IMF is expected to visit Pakistan soon, during which contours of a large and longer program will be discussed. He said government is focusing to ensure macroeconomic stability and ensure structural reforms. The Finance Minister said to enhance the tax to GDP ratio to 13 to 14%. Addressing the news conference, Minister for Information and Broadcasting Ataullah Tarar said the government is introducing reforms in multiple sectors to reduce expenditure. He said the country's economy is on the right track and all indicators are positive. The minister said after coming to power, steps were taken to reduce its expenses and privatization of loss-making public sector entities was part of that plan. On his part, the Law Minister clarified that pension reforms will be across the board and carried out by taking Parliament into confidence. He said a committee headed by Finance Minister is working on these reforms. He said matters pertaining to length of the services are being discussed and there is a proposal to apply it on all institutions. The Director General, Inter-Services Public Relations, Major General Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry, says Pakistan Army is committed to completely dismantle terrorist groups. Addressing a news conference in Rawalpindi today, he disclosed that the plot to kill Chinese engineers in Bisham was hatched in neighboring Afghanistan. He said suicide bomber was Afghan national and vehicle used in the attack was also prepared in Afghanistan. He said 4 other key culprits have been arrested by the law enforcement agencies. The DGI's PR said there are 29,000 Chinese nationals in Pakistan. Of these, 2,500 Chinese are engaged with CPEG-related projects and 5,500 others are working on other development projects. Ahmad Sharif Chaudhry said, ensuring security of Chinese nationals and all possible steps are being taken in this regard. It is government's top priority. The DGISPR said the attack on Chinese engineers was aimed at sabotaging Pakistan-China friendship and hurt the CPEC project. Ahmad Sharif Chaudhry said security forces conducted over 13,000 intelligence-based operations against terrorists and their facilitators. He said that about 100 operations are being carried out on a daily basis. This is Radio Pakistan. Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi has assured federal government's full support to Balochistan's government to improve law and order situation in the province. Talking to Chief Minister of Balochistan, Mir Sarfaraz Bugti, in Quetta today, he said federal government would also take keen interest in development of Balochistan. On his part, the Chief Minister of Balochistan said all available resources are being utilized to improve law and order situation in the province. All arrangements have been finalized in Saudi Arabia for intending Hajj pilgrims from Pakistan. This was stated by Joint Secretary and Director Facilitation and Coordination Hajj Mission Madinah Munawwara, Ahmad Nadeem Khan, while addressing a news conference in Madinah Munawwara today. He said Ministry of Religious Affairs and Interfaith Harmony has finalized its arrangements as the month-long pre-Hajj flights operation is set to commence on Thursday. Sharing details about the initiatives taken by the Ministry of Religious Affairs, the Director of Facilitation and Coordination Hajj Mission Madinah said, discounted long and short packages, complimentary uniform baggage with QR coding, and essential items like headscarf for females and ihram belt for males would be provided to the intending pilgrims. Foreign Minister of Republic of Uzbekistan Bakhtiarov Saidov will undertake a two-day official visit to Pakistan from tomorrow. During the visit, he will call on Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif and hold in-depth talks with the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar on a wide range of bilateral issues of mutual interest with special focus on trade and connectivity. Indian troops, in a brazen act of state terrorism, martyred 3 Kashmiri youth in occupied Jammu and Kashmir today. The youth were martyred by their troops during cordon and search operation in Redwani area of the district. On the other hand, massive cordon and search operations continued in different areas of Poonch, Rajouri, Udhampur, Kathua and Dura districts for the 4th consecutive day. Meanwhile, All-Party Hurriyat Conference fervently appealed to the global community to pressure India to fulfill its obligations under the United Nations resolutions which guarantee the Kashmiris their inherent right to self-determination. Russian President Vladimir Putin was sworn in for a 5th presidential term. The ceremony took place in Kremlin, marks the start of another 6-year term in office for Putin, who won 87.28% of the vote during presidential election held in March this year. After taking the oath to office, Putin said that Russia will continue to work with its partners to form a multipolar world order. At least 5 people have been dead and dozens injured by building collapse in South Africa. Rescue authorities said they are trying to rescue people buried under the rubble at the site in the coastal city of George. In the 30th Sultan Azlan Shah Hockey Cup, the match between Pakistan and Japan ended in a draw by 1-1 goal at Ipoh in Malaysia today. Pakistan, with 7 points, is leading the points table. Pakistan will play next match against Canada at the same venue tomorrow. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, day temperatures are likely to increase gradually in plain areas of the country. And now the headlines once again. Prime Minister has vowed to continue working with commitment for the country's better future. Finance Minister has termed Saudi delegation's visit as successful. DGISPR says Pakistan Army is committed to completely dismantle terrorist groups. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.